Hi everyone, this is Dr. Bart, and I have a very special guest with me today. Katie or Sija is one of, well, I think at least the first 100 students I had, which I had the pleasure of watching her to first get her junior and recently medium level position product management. And knowing her story, I always find it really inspiring, and I share it with different product management aspirants because it's an unorthodox but successful method to break into product management. And what is this method? Stay tuned, you'll find out. Hi, Kitty. Nice to have you.
Hi, Bar. I'm very glad to be here. Hi, everyone. My name's Kitty.
It's like, for me, it's incredible. Like 2 years ago, when I started my course, it was like almost like a salesman going from door to door asking people like, hey, I did this little thing, I think it will help you. And now it's so completely different, and I hope to, well, get more of you inspired today. So Kitty, tell us about yourself.
Cool. Hi, everyone. I work as a product manager on internal tools with a group of super talented engineers at the Hot Group to bring work efficiency and smiles to our end users. I was born and raised in China, and after finishing my master's degree, I decided to work in the UK. And outside of work, I'm also a content creator, a notes teacher, and a tarot reader. That's a brief introduction of me.
Sure. So why product management? Why did you choose this career path?
I would say from both my study and internship experience. When I worked as a sales specialist intern at Apple, I really enjoyed talking to the customers, enjoy emphasizing with their needs and sharing how the product will make their life better. But then I thought, what if one day I could be the one behind the scene? I could be the one behind the product and decide on which features we're gonna build and share and benefit the lives of our users. So this reminded me of an assignment that I did back in uni. It was an entrepreneurial module. So our team need to develop a business plan for a product that we brainstorm. And on top of just doing all the market research, creating the business model, designing the go-to-market strategy, things like that, we also collaborated with some design school students in our uni to build a prototype. So I could still remember the first time when our team saw the prototype, so our ideas turn into something tangible, and we receive positive feedback from our target users saying, oh, it's something that we would love to use. I still remember that feeling. And that's my first taste of product management, and also what led me to where I am today.
So, about getting where you are today,
Mhm.
the fascinating journey that really inspires me is the fact that you used your influencer social media platform experience to break into product management. And tell us about the story. Tell me, how did it happen for you? How did you use your profile to, well, become the junior product manager back then?
Uh, cool. Okay, I think I'll first briefly introduce my social media profile, and
Mhm.
then I'll share about how it helped me to some extent for breaking into product management. So the first part is I create video content on a Chinese social media platform called Red. So Red is like equivalent to a combination of Instagram and YouTube. So I got my first 10,000 followers in 2 months, and so far I've accumulated 38,000 followers now. And the content I share are mostly about self-love, mindfulness, and self-care. Although they are already prevalent concepts in many places all over the world, but it's still relatively new and novel in China, as it's to some extent quite the opposite of what the hustle culture that is promoting at this point. So I'd love to share more about that with my target audience on how we can accept ourselves, hear ourselves, and also embrace all seasons in life. So from that experience and social media platform, I was able to showcase my ability to manage a channel very similar to managing a product, because I believe essentially a social media channel is just a product, and it's a product that I own completely, and I don't even need to work with engineers, designers, or stakeholders to make it happen. I take full ownership of it, and if things go well, I can celebrate it with my own. If things go bad, I'm also the only one to, you know. So, and I also was using lots of PM related techniques and practices to help me grow this channel. And that also helped me land the PM job as well.
So those are actually two following questions I have. What product management techniques did you use to grow your channel? Do you still use them? And what do you believe worked for you? What was like unsuccessful attempt? And how did it prepare you for your normal, usual product management job?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for the first one, I would say quite a lot techniques and practices. For example, when I brainstorm my topics, I would look at the audience profile data to better understand the user persona. I would pay attention to like comments and DMs. So they are my source of qualitative data of my users, or say audience. And I'll see, okay, what's the demographic, what's the psychographic, what do my audience, what do the users care about most at this stage in their life? And also, when I use S.M.A.R.T on a PC, I'm able to upload 2 different thumbnails. And for a while, I'll be able to see which one generates more traffic. So it's very similar to A/B testing as well. Also, to analyze the video performance, I would, actually sit down to record data like the number of views, comments, and the ratio of likes and saves for an individual video, data like that. So for that's also very similar to how I would monitor product metrics. So when I was trying to get my first product management job, of course, I would just walk through the skills and practice as I did just now. And also, I would say, luckily, the wider team that I'm working in is also responsible for a internal tool that supports influencer marketing in our company. Although I don't work directly on that product, but I guess it might help me to some extent as well.
So it was also a bit of knowing the industry.
Yeah, totally.
You were recently promoted from a junior PM to I don't want to say a regular PM, but it is like it's not a senior level, it's mid-tier product management. Let's call it like this. So how is that different from your junior role? What changed for you? Or was it just mainly titular promotion and nothing is that different right now for you?
That's a great question. So to be honest, in my own eyes, I'm still very junior in the product management world because I just joined it for slightly over a year. Unlike traditional junior PMs, though, who would normally like own a feature area or a feature, the unique thing of working on internal tools is I'm able to work on full product all at the same time. And now our team is working on our 5th product right now. So I'll be able to embark in a 0 to 1 product life cycle, which is very exciting. And after the shift, after becoming a product manager, I think my focus will gradually shift from implementation details to more strategic thinking, like the roadmap, prioritization, and the product strategy. So yeah, that's the difference.
Come to think about it, my first product was also an internal tool, but this one I actually had to code myself, and I recall I was like a client support engineer, and I was always frustrated that I needed specific data, and to get them, I had to go directly to database and do SQL queries. And then I thought, oh, let's learn PHP and let's just do the tools that I need to be quicker at my job. And after a time, I was doing different tables, different additional tools, and it grew to a like big company CRM that, as far as I know, in some form or fashion exists until this day in the company is being used, which was hilarious given that people just used what they had before, not looking for ways to optimize, despite it was like a 5-person company at the time.
Oh.
So, which leads, speaking of the past, so if you could turn back time and meet yourself before, like the moment that you said, product management might be fine, what advice would you give yourself to make this journey easier for yourself?
That's a great question. If I can just give like one piece of advice, I might say be curious, be brave, and be resilient. Yeah.
So, okay, so we actually, that's all I had for you today. So maybe like do it like going off script. Where do you see yourself maybe in like 5 years? How would you like to develop your career? And where do you see yourself in the future?
I would say first, definitely to improve my product management skills. There are so many fields, so many areas that PMs can always work on. So just hone the PM skills, the product sense, all things like that. And on top of that, I also hope to get more to explore more different products. For example, previously we are all working on internal tools, but for the fifth product, our team is able to work on a SaaS product. So that's a very different area, very excited about that. So I would love to have more opportunities like this to expand my knowledge. And yeah, just also not only get more product management skills at work, maybe also from my channel, because that's another product that I work on, the sixth one, I would say. So continue to grow on that as well.
That's actually fun to say, because when you realize like the difference between working an internal product and a SaaS product with real clients is that your clients will no longer be able to go to your desk and say, hey, something's wrong. And
Yeah.
you will feel this distance from the users, which will be healthy and difficult at the same time. Because for one thing, there won't be like a single loudest person that will tell you what to do. Instead, you will have to look at that data, organize polls, and find the ultimate truth and not the truth that is of people that are unhappy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it will be difficult to find that data, to find that right decision to make the best possible call at a given time. And perhaps given the opportunity, I can thank you for the time you invested in this interview by answering some of your questions. Maybe you'd like to know something from me directly.
Yeah, sure. Do you have any advice for PMs that are transitioning from, it's like just finished their first year?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice that?
I would say try to think that sky is the limit, that the fact that you already have a year of experience as a product manager gets you ahead of the curve. You are no longer an aspirant, you have the experience, and don't be afraid to try different things. The core of being a great product manager is universal between different companies and industries. Unless you dream of being, I don't know, medical device IT product manager, it's quite easy now to change the industry altogether. And with that, you just need to find product you really enjoy. So you can try to change your mentality from learning and trying to fit in to finding something that really makes you happy, what you enjoy, and what will get you up in the morning, and it will be a product you really like to develop. I remember that when I was in car sales purchase industry, it wasn't my call really. I don't think I'm a good retail product manager because
Mhm.
I don't feel like focusing on grabbing the client's money per se is something that makes me happy. Of course, there's nothing wrong in like retail product management, not at all. But I know that doing more um, population beneficial products like a job board, like Skype, really gets me motivated because every trick a product manager does in the book will
Mhm.
benefit the clients, the users in the end.
Mm.
If you'd be, say, a gaming product manager, there
Mm.
are trends now that basically focus you to change your games into casino, to
Mhm.
use different psychological tricks to make you purchase custom premium currency
Mhm.
and invest hundreds of dollars in a free to play game. And
Yeah.
this also is like it's not honest and good in the long run. I mean, of course, you can make arguments that those games are free. You can only choose to pay if you want to, yada yada. But it's all like soft lies because it's all at the same time it's all built to incentivize you to pay. Just like I would build a job board that incentivizes you to apply for a position if you meet the criteria. That to help eliminate the fear, eliminate the self-doubt, because at the end it's a win-win-win scenario. The employer has a candidate that is hopefully very good. The company has the business from the job ad, which was posted there anyway. And the
Mhm.
candidate has like a throw of dice of destiny whether he or she gets that
Mhm.
dream job. So
Mm.
it's even easier for my portion of Skype, which is basically what we're looking at, the video call.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely no ulterior motive. And of course, every product needs to be monetized. For Skype, it's
Mm.
the telephony,
Mhm.
but there's no aggressive way to bring you to telephony. There's nothing that makes you feel like unless you pay for Skype, you can't really use it to full extent. That's
Yeah.
that's I think that changed into a very long rant on different topics, but it all comes down to the fact that you got your dream job. Now
Mm.
make your dream life with it. That's I think
Mm.
the next step that you can consider as growing your career, because maybe for some companies you don't have enough skills, like you don't have the enough A/B testing experience, for example.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you don't have to go directly to that dream job company life. You can bounce to different companies, products to gather the skills that you need to assemble the, I don't know, infinity life gauntlet and snap your way into success.
Oh, wow, that's very impressive, inspiring. Thank you. Thank you very much. And my second question is, do you have any advice on what I can do for self-learning to improve my PM skills? Because to start off with, I mean, before I got the first job, I definitely, read lots of PM related books, took lots of online courses. The ones provided by you is super, super insightful and helpful for
Thank you.
getting no problems for getting me the first job. And I also refer it back a lot while I'm already a PM. I still refer back to all those advice and tips, and that really helps me a lot along this journey.
Mhm.
So do you have any more advice on self-learning part?
For you, it's super difficult because you basically made it and you're just like polishing it all now. But let me ask you a quick question. Do you monetize in any way your social profile?
Oh, that's again a really great question. So although right now I only monetize it by sponsorship, but it's not the business model that I would prefer in the long run. A more sustainable, maybe like creating online courses for generating passive income might be a better option. But right now, I haven't got any plan for the course
Mhm.
that I want to build, so I'm still relying on sponsorship for now. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
So, like for an aspiring PM, I would say just build any product of your own, whether it's a YouTube channel,
Mm,
whether it's a blog or whatever. But what I don't think I said in any of like ways I advertise how, like by your example, doing your own product is a success, is efficient way to break in. The having a monetizable product
mm,
is a higher degree of difficulty here, because
mm,
it's one thing to get person to read, to look, to subscribe. Another
mm.
thing is to open the wallet, and open the wallet in a way that actually generates the value for the user, right?
Yeah.
And as I said, I wouldn't feel comfortable in certain money-oriented industries. I don't think that the way I work with the calls is monetizable. At the same time, I don't feel like I'm getting like persons saving when they enroll, and knowing full well how hard it was to get that course spinning on Udemy, how much work it was, how much experimentation with things like welcome message, with the thumbnail of the course, with how I position myself in the course market, or how to get the right message across,
Mm,
is a different set of challenges. And
mm,
the ultimate thing is not to have like a spike of sales and then forget about it,
mm,
but you'd be ultimately successful and test out your PM skills to the limit if you are able to set a financial goal, achieve it,
mm,
and keep it. Because I think that for a single person doing it, it's the most difficult part. You are marketer, you are the
mm,
designer, you are
mm.
copywriter, you are it's really that you are the product CEO at this stage
Yeah.
without having a
Yeah.
company. Like I always will remember that the first iteration of the course title was like a practical product management course, because I thought that it's practical, because rather than convey the theory, I convey like the things that I think you should know with day-to-day examples and applications, what to do, what not to do, what to say on a job interview, and what practically doesn't mean a thing. But at the same time, people were saying, no, there's not enough exercises, not enough self-own work. And even though I added practical exercises, I always heard that this course is not really practical as like the first point of critique.
Mhm,
So the easiest thing was to remove this word from the course title,
mhm,
to better build expectations, because it's not that the course is not having practical elements. It's just that the word practical turns out to build different expectation, and then has different connotations with different people.
mhm,
So finding the right word that doesn't hurt the product was a challenge, and it
mhm,
all sounds benign, and it is, but many elements of building a product are benign and make a big difference. I'm not sharing my screen, so you won't be seeing this, but if I go to Skype now, and you go to any damn, I'll have to blur it. Now I'll have to cut it out and think of a different example, because I wanted to say that, okay, I'll cut it out. But if you go to Skype now and you have like your groups,
uh-huh,
there is a right click option to share the link to the group with someone else to join it,
mhm,
which wasn't there before. This is something I added in my tenure as a I would expect it to be there, right? And my data point was like Dropbox or OneDrive, where when you want to share the file, you just right click the file and there's an option to generate a link. So given that I knew that this is a pattern that users are adjusted to, I commissioned the work, and it turned out like to really boost the number of creating those join links by, I think, a factor of 3, like not 3, 30%. So a thing that wasn't there, that wasn't advertised by any hand or anything else, suddenly became the second source of new links for people to join those groups. And it was nothing. It was really small. It wasn't like months of work to develop a feature. And being a product manager also means to have an eye for that detail, to find the most valuable thing at the right time that gives you the most value at the minimum risk, right?
Yeah.
So that's something to be on the lookout to develop as you go along, to be that greatest critic of your own product, your own as something you use, but at the same time not becoming the super user, not having the audacity of thinking that you know your product best and you know how to grow it without getting to know your users and consulting with them. This could be done in this way, the project I provided, because it was very little work, very little risk. But if this would mean like a 3 months of development, I would definitely have to go on a very complex journey of discovery to make sure that this is a right call before I invest few sprints of work, right?
Yeah, 100%. Thank you so much. That's really helpful.
Thank you too. And unfortunately, I have to go to my next meeting because we are product managers. We have to go to meetings. That's our primary responsibility, as far as I know.
Typical PM day.
Yeah. So thank you again for this inspiring story. I hope that the future students of my course will now feel like investing into their own product or even social profile and considering them profile is also a way to break into product management and go around the hurdle of grabbing a job that requires experience, but how can you get experience if you don't get the job? Hire yourself.
Wow, that's inspiring. Thank you for inviting me again. Thank you, Bart.
Thank you and have a great weekend.
You too. Enjoy your weekends.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.